Okay, everyone. I am Mr. Roylance, the photo and art teacher, and I have a goal for us this year. But to paint perspective for you, I want to start off talking about classical antiquity, a period of about 900 years that starts in ancient Greece, about 500 before the Common Era, until ancient Rome, first as a republic, then as an empire, which dominated the Mediterranean area. We tend to lump ancient Greece and Rome together because the Romans adopted many aspects of Greece culture when they conquered the areas under Greek control, starting in about 145 before the Common Era. For example, the Romans adopted the Greek pantheon of gods and goddesses, but changed their names. The Greek god of war was Ares, whereas the Roman god of war was Mars. The ancient Romans also copied ancient Greek art. However, the Romans often used marble to create copies of sculptures that the Greeks had originally made in bronze. The ancient Greeks were the first Western culture to believe in finding rational answers to the great questions of earthly life. They assumed that there were consistent laws which governed the universe, how the stars moved, the materials that composed of the universe, mathematical laws that govern harmony and beauty, geometrics and physics. Both the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans had enormous respect for human beings and what they could accomplish with their minds and bodies. When we study ancient Greek art, we are often looking at ancient Roman art, or at least copies of ancient Greek art. Basically, just about every Roman wanted Greek art. I mean, who wouldn't? For the Romans, Greek culture symbolized a desirable way of life, of leisure, the arts, luxury, and learning. All of this is before cameras, so the only idea we have of what things were like is by looking at artwork. For classical antiquity, we have the Archaic period, a few hundred years in which Greek artists tried to achieve realistic likeness in picturing the human figure. And the statues were a far cry from extremely abstract figures of geometric style with stiffness, gracefulness, and idealization. As Greece reached the height of economic success in the classical period, so did cultural and artistic splendor. The classical period of ancient Greece produced some of the most exquisite sculptures the world has ever seen. The art of classical Greek style is characterized by a joyous freedom of movement and a freedom of expression. It celebrates mankind as an independent entity. Artists hold their aesthetic standards to a quest for ideal beauty. This leads to their depicting of the human figure in a naturalistic manner, because it is the first time in human history that the human body is studied for aesthetic values. They replace the stiffness of human figure from the Archaic period with a free-flowing form, more true to life. There are lots of solemn faces, though, even in sculptures, which depict violent and passionate scenes. The faces betray no expression. However, their enemies have dramatic facial expressions. Ancient Greeks believed that suppression of emotions is a noble characteristic. Before Rome came in and pillaged Greece, reaching a Hellenistic art period, this is a great time of prosperity that encourages the production of art of a more secular nature. A new reality emerges in Greek sculpture, no more suppressing emotions. For instance, the boxer shows the boxer's bleeding knuckles after the fight. Humane themes such as childhood, old age, ugliness, and suffering are now of interest and are treated with great exuberance and pathos. The Laocoon is the epitome of this style. Greek art became popular when Roman generals began conquering Greek cities and returning triumphantly to Rome, not with booty of gold and silver, but of artwork. This work so impressed the Roman elite that studios were set up to meet the growing demand for copies, destined for the villas of wealthy Romans. The Dorophorus was one of the most sought after and most copied of these Greek sculptures. Without Greece, we would not have Rome at all. Even after Rome, artists would have studied in the same manner, sitting down and studying the masters and making replicas until their skill was high enough that they could create their own. This year, I want you to look at my class like Greek art. I don't want you to just pillage it, but to take what I give you and examine it. Learn all that there is about it, that you can replicate it and call it your own. I hope you work to be able to create classical pieces of your own, but even better yet, take it to the next level. Not necessarily Hellenistic, but endow a vision of your own creativity and really make it your own. Out with the Greek, in with the Roman. I believe in you all, and as always, question everything.